It's not a normal world. It's Taskmaster. And welcome to today's video. Now, I'll tell you this. I've got a brand new microphone. The Blue Yeti Pro Professional. Now, it means that I won't be going like jittering a lot and task 111 live task and hopefully channel beam will be able beam. I think it's beam. The fantastic YouTubers that were really happy that I gave them a shout out in the last episode. I recommend you to go and subscribe to them. I'll tell you their official name is Channel Bandits, and they put yesterday added the timestamp, which is 3 minutes 21 seconds. Thanks for recommending us. I'm so pleased you enjoyed our attempt at the Taskmaster tasks. Such a shame about the audio on your podcast this time. Well, Channel Bandits, the audio and the visual is better. You'll be able to see me and hear me clear. So please, do share these videos. Do spread the word. And do share my other channels. The Weird Side recently had a new interview launch, already on 22 views, with QI's wonderful Alex Bell, where I talked to him all about QI, and we even had a little bit of Taskmaster chat in the middle of it. Now, today we're talking about Taskmaster New Zealand Series 2, Episode 7. Now, I've been doing these every Wednesday, but I go back to college in September, right, in the UK. So, the first September that I'm in college in that week, so it's from the week of the 6th, there won't be a video that Wednesday, I don't think. But I'm not sure because I haven't got a timetable yet, so I don't know. But I'm just giving you a heads up that there might not be a video that Wednesday, but that video should be on that Saturday, because Albert Flowerpot Series 1 will be finished by next week. Because on Monday, we're getting episode 4, Saturday, episode 5, and the finale of Series 1 will be getting episode 6 over on Tom's Comedy Club, and more Tom's Comedy Club stuff coming. This is a comedy podcast. It's a reviewing podcast, but reviewing a comedy. So it isn't comedy, but it is comedy. But it doesn't go on that channel because this is Taskmaster World. It's linked to the Taskmaster World channel. And Tom's Comedy Club is going to get more stuff. So every element of comedy you can have. So we've already done sketches. We've already done sitcom. We've got others. So what's left is comedy podcasts, stand up, and I'm not sure what else, but they're the ones that I can think of. And they'll be, and obviously I need to do those, so they'll be filled. But let's get on to this. Now I do that at the beginning because it's my most popular channel with 1,420, 1.420k subscribers. So I explain that here because not a lot of you actually look at my community tab because I post some stuff on there. So please don't forget to check the community tab. I'll repeat, please don't forget to check the community tab. Now I've spent 3 minutes and 40 seconds wittering on, so let's get on to talking about Taskmaster New Zealand Series 2, Episode 7. Now, it was a fantastic episode today. The prize task, bring the biggest bargains. Now, in the UK, we have a program called Bargain Hunt, where they look for bargains. So theoretically, I should know a lot about bargains, but do I? No, I don't know that much about bargains, really, because I don't really watch Bargain Hunt much, or Dickinson's Real Deal, or Flog It, other bargain-related programs there. Now, Guy Montgomery brought in a bottle opener that cost 120 New Zealand dollars, which was a terrible price. Laura brought I think it's like 50 NZ dollars and brought it into 100 Zambian dollars, I think. I'm not too sure. She had money exchange where the money, if you convert New Zealand dollars into Zimbabwe money, it makes it higher. But when you convert it back, it's a lot lower, if you catch my drift. And I think I also catch my drift. Ursula made a shop card, so someone's shop. She made a card for it, a staff card, so she get a discount. David had $50 for 50 cents, which is like 50p or something. If you see me looking down at any point, it's because I'm looking at my notes and I want to make it look as professional, less like this. David had $50, less like that, and more like professional. And if I can talk at normal speed, because I'm going into yellow. Matt had 200 copies of his band CD that never sold. And he had the band Matt Heath. I still need to listen to the Jeremy and Matt podcast so I can work out their dynamic, their relationship before Taskmaster. I can work out what's different, if you get what I mean. And it was a good prize, but it wasn't a good prize at the same time. Now, every so often when I move my hands, you might see this. If you're watching the video version, this is a bit off the pop filter. I'm keeping hold of it, so I don't want to drop it and lose it. So I'm keeping hold of it so I know where it is at all time, so that after my recording, I could try and put it back onto the thing. Now, let's go into task number 1. This task seems not family friendly for the channel. Yes, they had to make the most inappropriate cake. Now, I've tried to write as notes as carefully as possible, because the TGM production family, so Tom, Mason, the Who Gamer, the Weird Side, What's on Britbox, Online Taskmaster, Tom's Comedy Club, TGM Productions, and Taskmaster World are all family friendly YouTube channels. Now that means I have to take a family friendly approach to writing notes on programs like this that aim for a mature audience. Now they don't have a PG version like the UK version, or else I would have watched this task. I would have watched that episode, gone to the PG version, found that task, and then wrote the notes on that task to see how they made it more family orientated, because the UK version has a PG version as well. So you've got so it goes Taskmaster, then on all 4, then they release the bleeped version, which if you're watching it from the UK TV player, is PG version, because UK still have Taskmaster series 1 to 9, and all 4 have the bleeped version from series 1 to 11, which we're getting 12 in September, which I will be reviewing over on the 3rd channel, The Weird Side. Go and check out that. At the end of the video where I have my end cards, there'll be a place for you to subscribe to this channel, and there'll be a place for you to go and watch the Alex Bell interview, because I want to promote that a lot. I can promote my Alex Horn interview. I can promote my Richard Herring interview. They're 2 Taskmaster alumni. Well, Richard Herring, the Taskmaster alumni, and Alex Horn, the creator of Taskmaster. So he's the original man. He's the one that developed Taskmaster, created it. So it'll be at the end card, or it'll be a card at the top if I remember to do that. But I don't always remember to do stuff. Now, let's try and do this as carefully as possible. Matt and Ursula went first. Now I'm going to hold it because I can't really see from that distance. Now, Matt made a disgusting cake using soap and mud, which looked horrible. Ursula, well, not too sure what she's doing, but it looks nicer than Matt's cake. Yeah, just never understood what she was doing, then eventually worked it out. Matt was talking nonsense. Ursula made a ring of poo. Now that was it, and that's all I can say on that. Now let's go to Laura, Guy, and David. They have started to make a nice looking cake, but that's not what the task was asking for you to do. Laura's cake was inappropriate, and so was Guy's. Laura thought of a story where a person who the cake was for said sorry. The whole guy's cake was inappropriate. David was funny and inappropriate. This is a rubbish task to review for a family-friendly YouTube channel. Laura used magic to leave the room. turn the lights off. She left the room, turned the lights back on, and she used the voiceover. Now that's task 1 done. Now, the thing is it was an inappropriate task, but funny. So inappropriate from a YouTube standpoint, but funny from a watching standpoint, because it was really good, and it shows how they think, which is rather interesting. Now, this video is currently, we're 10 minutes in. I don't want to rush it, because we've got good audio. I'm sorry for headphone users that are listening to this with headphones in. If you're listening to this on any audio platforms, including Audible now, I'm so sorry. But if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm so sorry as well. I prefer you to watch this on YouTube so you can see my wonderful face, rather than listen to it on audio platforms. But if you don't like YouTube and you only like to listen to things, this is still a good podcast for you, because you can still listen to it. And then, because I want you to watch this. So A, because it's a fantastic thing, and B, because then you can see all the wonderful content I do, not just a podcast. Because after Taskmaster New Zealand Series 2 has ended, we'll be going on to doing other videos, such as other videos like the Taskmaster Origin type videos, or where I'm in new places, not in the same place, or recreating international Taskmaster tasks. That'll be returning, and there might be new stuff coming, because I want to develop this. I want to move this channel away from the podcast. So, after Series 2's aired, we're going to leave New Zealand alone and move on to all the other versions, do new content, move away, and we're going to leave the podcast for a while. And then when I work out to watch one of the non-UK, non-English speaking country versions, and then I'll bring the podcast back for that. But after Series 2 has ended, no more podcasts, and then I can entertain you with more content, and I don't see the same thumbnail over and over and over again, because it gets a little repetitive from my side more than yours. Now, let's get into task number 2. They were locked in the caravan. The task, I wrote down the name of the task this time because it was a unique name. It was eat the grape without damaging the caravan. It's outside the caravan. Now, Guy and Laura went first. I'm going to read you my notes and then talk a little bit about it. Now, Laura found the money. David got angry whilst watching this task because he remembered how shockingly he did in the task. Guy was lost. They were both like small children. It was fun. It was a fun task to watch. So original. They found a phone. They had a recording of Paul selling keys. That's why there was money. Both did brilliantly on this task. Ursula and Matt. Matt had no clue where the grape was. They were not as good as Guy and Laura. Matt was not good at this task. Matt forgot to eat the grape at the end. Ursula was better than Matt at this task. Matt spent 5 hours on this task. David. He was even more worse, more lost at this task than Matt. Editing of David's task was so good. This show is my second favourite version of Taskmaster. David is brilliant in this task because he was so lost. Yes. Now, David did worse than Matt. For obvious reasons, David did worse than Matt. Now, the way David did it was David had no clue what was going on, got lost, tipped out all the hot water, wasted every single thing to do with it. It was a shambles. Shambles. Now, Matt did really bad, but he got 2 points in the end. So David got the 1, Matt got the 2, because Matt didn't do as bad as David. David got the longest time ever spent doing a task, which was 2 hours. I mean, not 1 hour. And Matt did it in like 46 minutes or something. Now, none of them two were very good at it, but Guy, Laura, and Ursula were really good at it. They had common sense. Now, let's move on to task 3. Now, extreme tea is the task. Now, Ursula put chilies in it. Is that extreme? Yes. Did Paul look like he was uncomfortable? No. He needed to look more uncomfortable. Because the chilies. I wouldn't be able to drink that. This tea is red. When she was pouring it, it's red. Tea shouldn't be red, but she put chili in it instead of sugar. I forgot where I'm up to now. Right, David and Matt went next after Ursula's red team. David was just messing around. This task was hard to write notes for. It was. So David turned himself upside down and was dangling whilst passing him the tea, which was funny. Guy and Laura. Oh no! Laura is making a hot and cold tea. See, I have generally been like, oh no! That's gonna taste horrible. Hot and cold. Ugh! I don't want to try any of these teas. I don't want to recreate this task because it sounds horrible for Paul, because Paul had to drink it. Now I'm really feeling sorry for Paul. Now, Guy is just being less crazy. He needs to tone it up a little bit because they were both, Laura and Guy were both just cycling around on the bikes trying to pass him the tea and trying to get Paul to pour it while they're on the move. Laura and Guy made Paul do dangerous things, but Paul and Laura did well at this task. Definitely, but it was a terrible task to write about. Now, is that a good thing or is it a bad thing? It's good to watch, but it's hard to write for because there's not a lot you can say. Oh no, he's done this and this. So I might have to, in the next episode of the podcast, I'm going to write more in detail stuff. Because hopefully the next episode won't be using tasks that are hard to write for. Now, we go into the final task, the live task. The live task. And we're going to make this video 17 minutes because we've got the intro at the beginning, the YouTube intro, the podcast intro, then the video, then the outro. So, could be longer. Who knows? Now, the live tasks are always hard to write about because they're all happening at once. Jeremy is joining in the task. Yes, Jeremy is the first ever Taskmaster to join in with a live task. As in, not as in like, say something from sat down. I mean, join them on the stage and actually being properly involved rather than just sat out not doing much. Now, I think the UK should use this where getting the Taskmaster, Greg Davis, to get involved with more, like Jeremy Wells was. And Jeremy Wells could feature in the UK Taskmaster by having a video message like Greg did in Series 1. Now, Jeremy is joining in the task. Wow, this is the first task to use the Taskmaster in the task. Paul said limitless amount of points, but they didn't get a limitless amount of points. They barely got 1 point. Jeremy looks like he is enjoying it. They're all good at this task. They look like they're having fun. None of them can tell what the Taskmaster is going to do. I really need to hear the Matt and Jeremy podcast so I can tell their relationship before Matt was on Taskmaster New Zealand. This episode was brilliant. Yes, the task. So they had red and blue drinks. One of them was Shook Up. Shook Up by Jeremy. You had to ask Jeremy a question, he would answer. You turn around, he would shook one of them up, pick it up, open it. If it's been fizzed up, you're obviously lost that round. Or if it's not fizzed up, you've won a point. Now, none of them won points, so no wonder it wasn't a very good task for the contestants, but it was a good, enjoyable task to watch. Now, Laura Daniels won the episode. Well done, Laura, winning episode 7 of the show. Now, I think it's a competition between Ursula and David, personally, for me. I think Ursula's got more chance of winning than David, but I think Laura, Guy, and Ursula are the top 3 people that might win, have got a possibility of winning. I want Ursula to win. Out of those 3, I want Ursula to win. But if David can step it up and win the whole series, excellent. But Ursula's more likely to win before David. David might come second, but I've got a good feeling it'll go Ursula, then Guy, then Laura. And I don't see an issue with that. Ursula doing really well. She doesn't immediately regret what she's done when she's watching the others, like what David was doing, especially in today's episode. But hope you enjoyed today's podcast, and remember, it's like I'm on Strictly, but remember, keep tasking.
Hello everyone, please subscribe to Taskmaster World.